Welcome to Behind the Claw. We will be picking up where we left off last week. These guys are on Grote, and it is a backwater system. It is kind of an artificial. Um, it's an artificial environment. Not only because Grote is kind of an airless rock ball, but because there would be absolutely no reason for any of this to exist if it were not for the starport. So Grote basically is a clearinghouse for ships that are merchant traffic that's coming out of District 268 and the Five Sisters. And essentially, these merchants stop at Grote and they offload their cargo there and sell it to ships that may be going further in towards core or into the Third Imperium. And they most of these ships don't go further in because that's more paperwork. They have to purchase licenses. There's fees involved, and quite frankly, that of course digs into their bottom line. And so a lot of these merchant ships will just stop and offload the cargoes at Grote. So there is some trade to be had here. Probably not the level of traffic that Magnus would be interested in, but the other thing, because Grote sees so many ships um, along the merchant lines, it there is intelligence to be gathered here. Magnus has sent these guys out to collect said intelligence, and he's basically told them that that the best chance of them getting at the intelligence or finding out some good pieces of info is in these Starport Authority secured servers or secured systems. Now there is of course always these typical um, the typical information that is available to anybody that wants to look, but that would only imply ships that have actually docked here. And so he feels that there's much more to be seen, to be had, and so he wants these guys under whatever means. He doesn't necessarily want them to have to break the law, although that's probably the only way that they're going to get into these secure systems. And so they have determined that one of the better ways of getting at this data is maybe not necessarily they themselves to hack it. There is a criminal underground organized crime here on Grote, mostly dealing in labor disputes and union stuff, and so they've kind of gone down into the dregs of. There's only 10,000 people here, so I can't imagine that their red light district's going to be all that large. And pretty much what this map displays is it. There just isn't enough people here. Everybody on Grote is employed in one manner or another by the starport. Otherwise, they would just not even bother being here. There is no indigenous population. Everything here is brought in. So this is the lower end, wrong side of the airlock kind of area where they are supposed to meet a contact, and that they were told to look him up and told where he would be, and so that is what they are doing, and so that's where we'll be picking up. So this map, there you'll see now you should see that on a number of these holographic billboards there should be a map pen. Do you see those?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
You can click on those, and it will bring up a in-game note.
Neat.
Yeah, this is really cool. How long did it take you to set up?
Uh, once I figured out how to do the map pins, it was super easy.
Huh.
I would say that probably creating the actual handout that would go with them was probably more time consuming. And I noticed that. So let's see here. Um, when you go in to edit them, I see that there is an option for a sublink. I don't know exactly what that means. Um, but
I
anyway,
think that's for a specific place in the handout, like in case you've got like the whole handout of skills, you could sublink to individual
oh,
skills.
okay, that makes sense.
I think. Not sure. Don't quote me.
So yeah, there are most of these are Traveler News Service articles that are. It's kind of telling you what is going on in the space, maybe not necessarily around you, but events that are taking place in charted space for the most part. Like there's an article here for finding Deep Night Endeavor, and that was actually most of this stuff is going to be news items that have taken place from the other campaigns or previous campaigns. So like the Deep Night Endeavor found TNS article is was actually the Friday Night Group when they first began their campaign, and then there was that's another advertisement for Instellar Arms or Instellar Ordnance. Um, the TCC delegation arrives on Tarkeen article. That's directly involvement from you guys. You guys just came from there, so it's just little things that. Oh, here's another one. Calexico City saved. That was actually the previous Wednesday night group during our towards the beginning of their what led into the Pirates of Drenax. So this is kind of you know it it places you around a time period when these particular items happened. Now time is very. I try to be very loose about what day is it, what year. I don't really like to. It's somewhere around 11:05. That's what I can tell you. Is it 11:04? Maybe. Is it 11:06? Maybe. But I don't want to pin it down too much. And there's a couple of reasons for that. For the first reason is that anything that is going to happen, and in order for Traveler News Service to to display it or to do an article on it or for it to reach the masses, like everything else, it has to make the jump travel. And so if they're using like an X boat or something like that, it what is an X boat, like 6 parsec? I think it's a J6, isn't it?
think so.
I think I'd have to look it up, but I think they're like J6. So any piece of information that you would get from is going to be at least a week old. In a lot of cases, and that's if you're that's if you're really close. That's if it whatever happened within 6 parsecs of you, and you're near the X-boat route. In a lot of cases, this news could be several months old. I mean, I saw something. I think I was looking at the Fifth Frontier War timeline, and I noticed that there was an entry. The war had already been going on for probably a good 4 or 5 months, and there's an actual entry. It's like, oh, Regina finally learns that there's a war. I mean, there. It's like the Age of Sail. The information can only travel as fast as the fastest ship that's heading out there, right? So yeah, I just thought it was very interesting. Like, oh yeah, well, or maybe it was Rylanor. Rylanor finally learns of the war, and it had been going on for like 5 months. But so yeah, I mean, some of this information could have happened. I mean, Calexico is on a planet called Chachila Weedaque. tongue tire. Out in the Trojan Reach. So, I mean, this particular article says it happened on 23/11/05, 23rd day. I mean, that could have been 6 months ago. Who knows? That's a long. Well, I guess it's not as long as I thought it would be. It's a bit of a hike to get down to the Trojan Reach. So, anyways, so you guys have arrived in all of these domes on Grote's downport are connected via tunnels and tubes and whatnot. And of course, you know, these tunnels and tubes are basically they can be sealed off in case there is some kind of catastrophe, thus preventing other domes in the downport to being destroyed or suffering damage. But they are big enough that the people that live down here do have like small ground cars to get around. There is a fairly decent tram system that moves back and forth between tubes, but it's really not that far. I mean, there's only 10,000 people that live here, so it's just not that big of a port. And but oddly enough, their high port is a Class A starport, so it's a little bit weird. Tech level here is tech level 11. So, and like I said, there a lot of ships bring stuff in. So, the typical tech level of what is produced here is tech level 11, but there's stuff from all over. So, I mean, if there's something if you're absolutely looking for something in specific, you can certainly ask, and we can see if there is anything available. But there's just a lot of merchandise from all over. So yeah, you guys come into this district. Everybody can make a recon plus intellect check. Okay. So, Audrey doesn't notice anything.
Nope.
But the rest of you, you're looking around. You note that there are even in this district, there are multiple starport security guards wander around. So the starport security here, if I remember, look here. I wanted to say that they outsource. Maybe not. Hmm. I guess not. But you note that there are numerous security guards. Even in this lower end district, which is kind of different. Your experience in multiple starports. I mean, by this point, you guys have been in several starports. Usually, when you get into these kinds of areas where you've got the gambling and the vice going on, you see fewer cops. And that's not really the case here. You've got several starport security guards that you've noticed right off the bat. You see that there's two right here, and you know, Audrey either Audrey doesn't notice this, or Audrey just kind of thinks that it's normal. Like the contact. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask if I can clock like what kind of armor or weapons the starport security seem to be equipped with.
Yeah. So Yes, you can. They are all armed with stun sticks and auto pistols. As far as
Okay.
armor goes, they're all wearing cloth. Specifically, tech level 10, cloth armor protection
Okay.
+8. I mean, they're not,
Decently armored, but
yeah,
nothing too crazy.
yeah. It's nothing ridiculous.
Awesome.
So the contact that you guys were sent to find is, and I thought this was quite funny when it came up. I used a random name generator. Micky Zedouche is the um, is the is the contact that you are looking for, and so, but you didn't really. You were told that he was somewhere in this area. You weren't really told, go to this building at this particular time. So, what would you guys like to do?
Well, I'm not one that's very familiar with being on the talking side with these sorts of groups. Any of you have any suggestions?
Well, I know that we lost Casimir.
He said he's having issues, has to reboot.
Oh, okay. Um, I know Casimir has. I believe it was Casimir. Somebody had some streetwise.
I think it was Casimir.
I do talking with leaders of planets and empires, not of leaders of gangs. But I'm here to shop anyway. Because for too long, Clanker has just stood next to me looking pretty. He needs to be upgraded.
What kind of upgrades were you looking to throw into him?
Some combat wafers. Not sure what kind of weapons yet, but it depends what I can find.
Interesting. Well, if you're looking for combat stuff, this building right over here is an Instella Ordnance shop.
Okay.
Now, if I let's see, this is find it. This is law level 4. There it is. Law level 4. It's not. It's not overly. It's not overly heavy-handed as far as law level goes. Light assault weapons, submachine guns, military weapons, portable energy and laser weapons, WMNDs, of course, explosives or undetectable weapons. Of course, if they're undetectable, how would they know that you had them? Those are all banned.
Question.
Cloth armor, flak, combat armor, and battle dress are banned. Now, the cloth armor ban. Cloth is there is caveats and addendums to cloth because if you look in the central supply catalog, if you're just talking like what these security guards are wearing is going to be obviously, you look at it and you're like, yep, that's armor. That's more of a reason why it's banned than anything else. But cloth armor can also come as essentially looking like standard clothing. And that type of cloth armor, like a cloth jack or something like that, that would be probably acceptable.
Would I would imagine hunter field garb would probably be acceptable. It's
Yes.
less armor, more survivalist type gear.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, that's a good question. Let me see. Go down my index. Yeah, hunter field garb is proving to be a popular one for obvious reasons.
It's light protection, regulates body temperature from extreme heat and cold, and gives superior camouflage and has lots of pockets.
Right.
In case you get attacked by a bear.
Right. Yes.
Well, I figured it's perfect for a sniper sitting out in the wilderness, doesn't have to worry about the environment temperature. Helps him stay stealthy.
Mhm.
And a little armor.
That's very interesting. It's not in. It's not in the
It's in the Central Supply catalog.
Yeah, I know it is, but it's not in their index. There it is.
Weird.
Right. It doesn't. They don't give a picture of it either. Oh no, there
I
it
got
is.
it.
Yeah, no, I mean, here's a picture of it. I mean, yeah, it's more survivalist than anything else. That chest piece is obviously armor, but
Yeah.
I would think that it would be just fine.
Might get the occasional look, but
Yeah, and it's only +4 protection. So yeah, no, that I would think that that would be perfectly acceptable. I mean, if anybody asks you, you can always tell them,
I hunt.
it's unlikely that a bear will attack you on a lifeless rock ball, but the possibility is never zero.
Exactly. You never
The,
know.
the space bears with tentacles come out of the craters.
Yes, the space bears.
And we've heard this is a sketchy part of town, so yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. What are you guys? I don't remember if you were armed. What are?
I have my dagger, cutlass, and my auto pistol without the suppressor attached.
Okay. What
I
about
have my
Audrey?
stunner.
Oh.
Oh,
Go ahead.
well, I have my stunner, and I am wearing cloth armor, but my cloth armor has the chameleon suit, so I am probably disguising it to look like normal clothing.
Well, the chameleon is actually more to change its color, so that you can easily blend in. Just looking at that. Here, this is full motion, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it says allows surface of armor or clothing to transform into varying colors and patterns. So I mean, it is cloth, but you can make it do pretty much any camouflage effect that you want. It grants a +3 to stealth checks.
Yeah, well, pretty good. So I could probably swing it, I think. Especially if I drape like a poncho over it or something.
Sure. All right.
And throw a poncho on, you can make it look like the Hunter Field garb I'm wearing.
Essentially,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Right. That is true. Let me see. These guys. No, they don't notice. The security guards aren't going to notice. What's Audrey wearing?
Audrey wears Jack, and I guess if assault weapons are banned, then she carries the VM11.
You're carrying the what?
The VM11? That sniper rifle?
Oh. Yeah, okay. I mean, long arms. I mean, that's going. Obviously, that's gonna. If you're walking around with a sniper rifle slung over your shoulder, that's going to be noticed.
Oh, okay.
Now, it may
Well,
not.
then...
It's not necessarily illegal, but it's going to attract attention.
Okay, then I guess Audrey leaves her guns
Okay.
behind when we go in.
Audrey doesn't have a pistol or anything, does she?
No.
If you want, Orion will let you take his auto pistol. He's still got his cutlass and dagger.
Okay, thanks. Now Audrey has the auto pistol.
I mean, if Xerxes wants to go over to Instella Arms or Instella Ordnance to look at some combat programs for his non-combat droid. I mean, you could probably purchase weapons over there.
Yeah, and I think pistols aren't that expensive.
No.
No, they're super cheap. The
Yeah.
auto pistol's only like 200 credits and another 10 for a mag.
Right. And so, anything here?
Yeah, they're pretty much standard kind of tech level stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem at all. One thing I did add all the charts in over here. Let's see. We are looking at pistol. Slug pistols. Here are all the slug pistols. Anything up to tech level 11 is available. Which pretty much is everything except the mag rail pistol and the Gauss pistol. What is a universal auto
Universal auto pistol. Oh, that's the one with the paddle trigger for strange hand aliens.
Oh, yeah, right. That's for Sophons that don't have normal hands or whatever. That's right.
Yep.
Like a hiver.
You know what? Seeing that Audrey didn't have a auto pistol, I'll go ahead and pick up an extra auto pistol.
Okay. Yep, 250 credits, and it is 10 credits per magazine.
I'll pick up let's go with 4 mags with it as well.
Okay. Anybody else want to? Now, of course, they do also have some rifles. Again, anything up to tech level 11 is available off of this list. Well, not anything. Shotguns, rifles. Big game rifle. I don't know why you'd be going game hunting on Grote, but you know.
You never know.
Spear gun. So mostly this is going to be standard rifles, semi-automatic rifles, and shotguns, but nothing else because everything else on here is pretty much considered a military weapon.
Yeah, I was gonna say the advanced combat rifle would be what Orion wants, but that's just for nostalgia purposes.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, ACRs. I mean, yeah, ACRs.
SMG is way better, but that's
yeah. I mean, I'd rather have a Gauss rifle, but I mean, you can't really go too far wrong with an ACR. Now, so I assume everybody's going that. I mean, you just bought a auto pistol, so we know that Orion is over there. And I know that Zerzy wanted to look at software for his bot. Zerzy, do you know what software you want to buy for the bot?
I'm trying to think what would look more badass. Is him having like a rifle or him dual wielding something? Because he's supposed to just be my bodyguard and intimidate people. He doesn't necessarily need to be good at killing people. But...
Isn't he just a crew droid? I mean...
Yeah, but still, I mean, he's got a lot of health. He's got regenerative armor, basically. Like, I got him for a really good price.
Right, that's true.
I got him for 12,000 credits. He's worth 150,000, so...
And so, yeah, he did have some slots available.
Yeah, I'd have to swap out maybe a couple things, but that's fine. He doesn't use most of his skills anyway.
You could get him an assault pistol so he can just spray and pray.
I mean,
and then when we get to when we can get to lower security plates, we could pick them up like an actual SMG.
Yeah, and theoretically, I mean, I assume the situation is that you can buy something, just you can't carry it, like, right?
Well, I also know that we have
Typically,
weapons on
yes.
the ship also.
Right, but I'm just saying, if there's like a really nice weapon that you can afford, you can just buy it and have it delivered to the ship, and uh, that's that's it.
If they have it.
So
Yeah, if they have it.
So installer ordnance, I mean, they pretty much sell. If there's a weapon, they sell it. However, in order to purchase most of these military weapons, pull it back up here. Oh, there we go. So for instance, slug rifles chart. So most of these military weapons, in order to purchase them, you're going to have a license, and you could probably get through most of it. I mean, for weapons like these, sure, you could probably purchase license. That is going to be a admin check to fill out the paperwork. You're going to have to then wait probably about 6 weeks in order for that said paperwork to be rubber stamped by the starport officials here on Grote. And once that is all through, said and done, then you can purchase some of these military items. Shotguns and typical your standard rifle are available now without a license, but anything bigger than that, like the ACR, you buy it? Probably, but you're gonna have to pass all the background checks, and you're gonna have to fill out the paperwork and pay for a license, and then you have to wait, and then you know,
I'm
it
not
moves
worried
at,
about
Gotcha.
buying
it moves
guns.
at
I'm
the
just gonna
it will
ask
move
him.
at the speed of bureaucracy.
I'll just ask him, can I buy one of every combat chip that you have?
Uh,
And it's like they're like 100 credits each, and there's like a handful of them. So, yeah.
let's see here. So
Pocket change.
you were looking at these in the robot handbook, correct?
I have no idea where I saw them last. I haven't looked at them in months.
The combat ships are in they're in cybernetics, aren't they?
Well, those would be wafers, but robots have their own thing. So like, let's see, skill packages. It's not really the same thing as buying a skill on a wafer.
Oh,
To slot into either a wafer jack or a neural jack.
Well, I'm just going after paragraph 2 of the crew droid thing. It says initially it doesn't have any combat capability, can't operate ship weapons, nor does it have embedded weapons or knowledge of weapon use. Although it does have 2 spare slots, and a change in programming can remove admin or advocate skill packages and replace them with something combat related.
Right. So let's see. So like this one, how much is this cost? No, no. So these are basic brain packages. Let me look at. Oops. Let me look at slots. Slot cost options. These are all. These are all physical. Here's one that's had a crew droid that's had the domestic cleaning equipment installed. Hmm. Interesting. These basic brain. Basic brain is not sophisticated, but it is very specialized. We're not wanting to replace his brain. We just want to install. Oh, here we go. Standard skill packages.
Would it be under weapon options fire control system? Well, not them. That's weapons mounted on him. Never mind.
Right. So that would take up a slot, and isn't a bad idea because doesn't I believe that gives you a bonus to your for him to hit. But if on page 74 of the robot handbook are standard skill packages, gun combat. So then the question is, what tech level is he?
Tech level 12.
Okay, so yeah, he could get gun combat, which is only tech level 8, requires 0 bandwidth. Characteristic is Dex, and it's 100 credits. And that won't even take up a slot. I mean, this is just, you're just uploading the skill to him.
Give him that and melee.
Yeah, you could go for the trifecta. You could go gun combat, gunner, so he could work a turret and melee, and that would all be 300 credits total.
Or heavy weapons, and you can get him this squad gun.
Right? Yes, give him a saw.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll give him gun combat, gunner, heavy weapons, melee. If they want to try to upcharge me, I don't care. It's pocket change, but
Yeah, I mean, most of these are 100 credits. I think the highest that they go, deception is as high as 1,000 credits. I don't necessarily know that I'd want a robot that was skilled in deceiving me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a bad idea. So yeah, whatever off of the standard skill packages list that you want to purchase. Now keep an eye on bandwidth. Let me look at him again.
can you give me a NPC character sheet for him? I'll just start like giving him an actual character sheet at this point.
Yeah, I can do that. Let's see.
I'll do that in the background.
He is tech level 12. Programming is advanced. He's got intelligence 9. Where is his brain?
I mean, honestly, a crew droid would be a great assassin.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's gonna suspect him.
It's basically the
Exactly.
reason. Have you played Knights of the Old Republic, the original one?
No.
Oh yes.
Yeah, HK 47, right?
Yeah,
He was
the evil droid.
originally a protocol droid, right? So he was, you know, but he had the hidden assassin programming. So yeah, I mean it's the same thing. You know, nobody expects the crew droid to suddenly bust out a sniper rifle and just put a round between your eyes from 300 meters away. So
Right.
And then they pick up a mop and mop the floor.
yeah, exactly. And then hey boss, I'm just taking this over to organic disposal. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, do you want to just send me an NPC character sheet? I'll just build all this while you guys are doing stuff. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me.
Or duplicate the crew droid.
Yeah, basically that's what I'm gonna do, and just
So
spend a little money. It looks like.
interesting. So the So there's basically two ways that we could go about this. I could just set you up with an in-game character sheet, but that's going to be for just a typical traveler. If you go on our server, there is in the robot handbook, in core rulebooks robot handbook folder, there is a worksheet. However, it is not form fillable.
I'll just take a character sheet in Roll20, and then
Yep.
there should be an NPC option I can find, and I'll tinker with it and see what I can do to make it work.
Linker.
Probably something I should have did a long time ago, but
Well, I mean, no real need to until now. That will be Zerzy. Just a second.
Так, тогда делаем можно там где-то активность выключить штрафную. Я думаю, это будет уже последний. Но голос у тебя, можно сказать, даже почти уже бодрый. Вот видишь, как хорошо. И чувствуешь ты себя... Ну, вот особо ты себя чувствуешь. Блядь, конечно, современная медицина — это что-то с чем-то.
20 hits.
Современная медицина — это что-то с чем-то.
all right, I'll start working on that character sheet.
Almost done. Ow. All right, there you go.
Awesome.
And he now has a token as well. Both of you have full control of his token. You should be able to move him and all of that.
Alrighty, I'll work on that in the background. Yeah, I'll spend 300 credits and get him the wafers he needs. For weaponry, I will just get weapons out of the ship whenever we go back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there are weapons available in the armory. I mean,
Yeah.
mostly revolvers. They're going to be Stallies, but in fact, Audrey can does anybody that wants to can get one of these. Da da da. There it is, the Stoolie. So these are frequently checked out from the armory aboard Scander. Anybody can grab one of these if you like a big old hand cannon.
Good to know.
So I was looking through the rules, and my assumption was that these damage ratings there was a typo. There is not. The heap rounds actually do less damage because they're designed to penetrate and go through.
Yep.
So that's why they're AP2. That's where that explosion is coming in. Is that it's detonating the armor. But yeah. So pretty good revolver. While Zerzy and Orion are at Instella Arms, what is Audrey and Casimir doing?
Is there an Astroburger?
Probably there is. I would say, yeah, there's an Astroburger right down here.
Okay, Audrey goes into the Astroburger and eats their burgers.
Okay. So, I mean, 15 credits for a meal deal and a large Coke. What about Casimir?
He is honestly probably just browsing. If they do have somebody who sells Neurojacks, I mean, there was one thing that I needed, but sorry, wafers. What the hell was it that I needed? I needed, was it Persuade?
Go ahead and make a streetwise plus intellect check.
Right. Right, and we are also here to find like a contact, our shady contact.
Right.
But yeah.
So you don't find any actual cybernetic shops here. I mean, Grote just doesn't really have a whole lot of enough industry in and of itself to support that kind of industry. Now, of course, there are some augments that are available just through your typical hospital, which there is one here. But a lot of these other ones, you can probably find a parlor that will do like the holographic tattoos and things like that. However, you kind of check around on the street and you find a kind of backdoor ripper dock kind of situation that has some cybernetic stuff that they can do, and they also dabble in a little bit of computer hacking and software, piracy, things like that. And so he does have a list of or a collection of wafers. However,
Okay. Oh, okay. However,
they are he is selling them for 3 times the list cost that you find in Central Supply Catalog.
well, that's actually not a huge deal because I only really need the basic bitch ones. Specifically, I want let's see, I'm looking for melee combat, gun combat, which say like ballistics, and their I guess persuade would be useful. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So yeah, I mean, you can. He has all of those available, but they're 3 times the list cost. Now,
yeah, that's fine.
Now, for the combat wafers, combat skills, those can only be used if you have a neural jack installed.
I do.
Okay.
That was the thing I rolled for, which is the whole reason why I decided to go like full in on this.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. The neural jack is wired directly into your nervous system and allows you to. Basically, these are muscle memory. kind of chips.
There.
All right, so they're. Oh wow. Okay, no, so they're 1,000. I can't actually afford them.
The other thing to keep in mind with if you're going to slot a wafer into your neural jack is that it does not add to the skill that you already have. So if you already, let's say that you have gun combat 2 and you get a gun combat 1 wafer, that doesn't change your gun combat to 3.
No,
Actually,
but it does add up.
slotting that wafer would actually lower your gun combat to 1.
Well, no, it says if a user already has at least level 0 in a skill, then any level expert package gains DM +1 to their skill check.
Right, but that's because the wafer itself is a specialty skill. So if you, let's say that you get gun combat slug and the wafer jack is 1, but you only have gun combat 0, you then get gun combat slug at 1. If you already have gun combat slug at 1, it doesn't give you a +2. It works the same way as like all of the other skill stuff works. Like when you're first rolling up a character, if you get a skill at 1 and then later get skill at 1 again, it does not increase that skill to 2.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, you're the GM in this case. I'm not going to argue. That's not my read. But if that's the case, regardless, it's a moot point because most of my skills are at level 1. Only a couple are at level 2. Actually,
Right.
like, yeah, literally one of my skills is at level 2, so it's a moot point anyway. Right. Well, yeah. If he wants $3,000 for these, I mean, man, that's expensive. Oh. What's most important really? I have a feeling that probably persuade is the most important one because I need to be able to, in case I get like bothered by police. Okay, yeah, so I'll spend the $3,000 and I'll buy a persuade persuade wafer. Oh well, actually, okay, well I know it's risky. Yeah, I'm gonna try to read the guy's mind and surreptitiously, not like overtly, but ask if he's got something like more mystical, any more mystical. I'm basically asking if he has psionic data jacks for sale. And like if he wants my kidney for this, I will absolutely sell him my kidney. That's fucking yeah. Like that's not even a question. Yeah, so yeah, I'm doing basic surface reading, and I'm just casually asking if I see that the guy's getting defensive, I'm gonna back off, But yeah, let's just see if he has some of those available. I don't even know if they exist. I don't even know if they exist actually.
So you're just specifically wanting to know if he has any psionic augmentations.
Yeah,
available.
but yes, but again, I'm asking in such a way that like I'm asking without actually asking here because I imagine that's like wildly illegal.
Well, I mean, he's already
Well,
doing
okay,
stuff
but
that's illegal.
okay. But there's like like you can like if you go buy drugs from a drug dealer, right? Like you can buy like okay, hey, you got some weed, you got some coke, okay, that's one thing. But it's like, hey, do you have a gun? Maybe. Do you have like bullet what are they called? AP bullets?
Oh,
And
right.
like yeah, so there's like a degree, right? And at some point the drug dealer's gonna go like, nah man, I don't want anything to do with you, just leave before like this gets ugly. So that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Okay. So let me check availability. Let's see here.
I don't even know if they exist like mechanically, like if that's just a thing that exists.
Their psi taps exist. They're tech level 16.
Yeah, well,
Let's see here. Item is considered highly specialized. Yep, that's a -1. Item is typically reserved for military. Let's see. They look like small
Not-
crystalline windows mounted on either side of the traveler's face. Just above the temple, a portion of the skull replaced with extremely durable psi-active crystals, stimulating the psionic portions of the brain. This augmentation adds +2 to the traveler's psi characteristic to a maximum of 10. A traveler may have multiple pairs of psi taps, creating a circle of crystal augments around their skull.
Whoa.
Tells me those are going to be way more than 3,000 credits.
Undoubtedly, yeah. So
I would be willing to sell my I'd be willing to trade my TAS membership for this. I think.
Oh,
Yeah, for an effective psi +2. Hell yeah. Oh, up to a maximum of 10. Oh, ooh.
Let's see. This is. So yeah, there's -3, 4, 5. Now it's back down to 4. Back down to 2. Ooh, it's back down. It's only at -1 now. Shit, I don't know. What are the trade codes? Grote's trade codes are non-industrial and VA. Back to -3. World population. Well, it's terribly small. Yeah, like a 4. All right, 2D -4 it is what this shakes out. Does he have them available? He needs an 8+. No, he does not have them available, but he's not overly I mean, he understands what you're asking. He's not overly concerned about legality. And go ahead and make a recon plus intellect check.
Yeah, I can do that. Recon plus intellect.
So looking around the inside of this shop, I mean, like the windows are boarded up. It looks like this is a closed down, abandoned building. Inside, most of this stuff looks like it has been either stolen or repurposed from somewhere else. Including most of the computer parts look that way, but including the augmentations. And like there's a like a jar sitting on a counter of a biographed. Essentially, it is a soldier's organ package, and it's in a lighted jar that's being kept, aerated until it can be installed into somebody else. And you're looking at it, your assumption would be that it came out of a previous owner.
Yeah, we back in the biz we called that secondhand alphaware or something.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. Well, if he doesn't have it, he doesn't have it. I'm just gonna get the persuade. I'm just gonna get the persuade. Wait for Jack for $3,000.
Okay.
and then without slotting it in, because I assume he'll be like, and don't you use this thing on me. I'm going to ask him, since he's already kind of in the illegal biz, whether he did we ever get a name for the for the shady guy that we were supposed to, that's
Yes.
that yeah, we
Yes,
did.
Mickey.
Micky Zedouche.
Mickey's the douche, yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of casually ask, now that we've completed a deal, does he happen to know Mickey, how to get to him?
Sure. Yeah, he tells you that Mickey frequently can be found. Micky Zedouche is kind of a low level street tough, and works for the syndicate. But he can be found most frequently over near the fountain. And honestly, it's most common that he's over near the fountain because he's basically standing over there selling drugs. The other thing that he tells you about Micky Zedouche is that Mickey actually works for the Starport Authority. He is part of security.
Oh, okay. Well, cool.
So yeah, he says that you can find him. Just look for the sketchy cop in uniform standing over near the fountain. He says, approach him carefully because he's always
Yeah.
over there because he's up to no good, and so you want to be careful how you walk up on him. It's not that Grote is by no means you know a dangerous port. There's not a large crime element here. Everything is pretty much low level crime, so it's unlikely that you're going to get shot. But chances are never zero.
Right.
So, what do you guys want to do at this point?
I guess go talk to Mickey.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you guys are all in contact with your
Comdots.
dots. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
I kept wanting to
Yeah.
call them
We can all
earbuds.
meet
and
at
I'm
the
like,
fountain.
they're not ear. I mean, they are earbuds, but so yeah, you
Yeah,
guys all meet
As
up.
soon as you guys let me connect up to yours, I go ahead and pull out a set of shades that just kind of auto dim and just activate the PHUD link between my data pad, my shades, and my ComDot.
Okay. So you got pretty much a AR experience heads up display.
Pretty much, but they think the super stereotypical cringe Oakley glasses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they look like those, just
With the rainbow front.
level 12. Oh yeah, big old amber lens up front and everything.
Oh yeah. Those are hot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys make your way over to the fountain, and as you are walking up, you see that the security guard reaches. He's talking to a woman, and he reaches into his pocket, and it is fairly obvious to you that he has something palmed. And he shakes her hand, and she hands him a small wad of Imperial credits that he puts into his other pocket, and she takes off and leaves.
Corruption in the ranks. Oh no.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Say it isn't so. That never happened. I'm shocked.
Not that shocked.
Not that shocked. So how are you guys approaching him?
Well, seeing the whole party kind of approaching and having watched enough clandestine deals before, knowing a whole group at once is probably not a great idea. Orion's just gonna kind of lean up against the wall over here and just kind of act like he's going through his comm pad, but just scanning to keep an eye out for anyone paying too much attention.
Okay.
I have no idea what's going on, so I'm sitting here with Clanker fucking with his wafers and stuff. And
His eyes are like they're the loading complete bar, so they're only partially lit up. What's Audrey doing?
Okay, well, if we go there, Audrey drinks from the fountain.
Okay. Audrey goes over and gets a drink. I guess that leaves you, Casimir. What are you up to?
Yeah, I guess if I'm going to be the one talking, then I'm going to be the one talking. So I have this brand new talking good module. So let's put it through its paces.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna approach the guy that I've been, that was described to me, and I'll be like, does his name read Mickey? That's the important question.
Yes.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Okay, so I'll say, oh, Mickey, oh man, it's been ages, I say. How you doing? How you been, old man? Or I guess I don't know if he's older than me or younger than me, but relatively, yeah. How's it going, old pal?
He kind of looks up and he goes, I don't know you.
He says, you don't remember your old pal Cass, huh? Well, yeah, hey, I mean, you're on the clock right now, so I can't buy you a drink so we can talk over old times, but and then Casimir drops to a more lower to like a lower, less exuberant tone and be like, yeah, talk about old times, talk about what's going on, who's been going on, where's been going on, that kind of thing, exchange, information, and information is money, and money's information, money's power, blah blah blah, etc. That kind of thing.
So he says, he's go ahead and make a persuade plus social check.
Aha! Guess who's marginally better at these now?
Actually,
of course, this is the point where I have to roll snake eyes. Obviously.
Actually, let me.
Can I do would Streetwise maybe be more appropriate?
Maybe let me.
I only ask because I have a +2 for Streetwise rather than a +1.
Yeah, let's see. So persuade. Yeah, it does. It would have been persuade Soch. Okay. Let me look at Streetwise. Understands urban environment and power structure. Yeah, Streetwise would be more appropriate. Go ahead and make a Streetwise plus intellect check.
I mean, I'm still gonna roll snake eyes. Oh no, look down.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, good. All right,
You did it.
There you go.
Okay, so so Mickey goes, oh, I see what's going on here. You're trying to be you're trying to approach me from a casual standpoint. And he says, out with it. What is it that you're looking for?
well, I say, really? Okay, okay, sure. If we're talking here, we're talking here. But again, lower voice. He says, well, I'm looking information from Magnus, and specifically, we're looking for now. Just out of character, because it has been a week. We're looking for, if I recall, like ship movements of there's been movements of both like the Zhidani and the Imperium, but specifically we're looking for Zhidani ship movements, right? Is that it?
Not necessarily.
The swirled world.
I mean, you're basically looking for all data on ships moving in and out of the Grote system. Now, the reason for going this particular route is like you guys in the starport, you can go to any kiosk and you can it's public information. You can search it for ships that have docked at the starport, over the last 30 days or whatever. That's
Right,
public
but we're
information.
looking for
You're looking for not just ships that have docked at the starport, but is there any record of communication with any ships or pinging of any ships in the out system? Is there
right in the out system ships that wouldn't necessarily have been registered, ships that have passed. Yeah, okay.
right?
So
So
okay, fine.
any
So no,
ships that have moved through Grote is basically what's going to be stored in the in the in the secure files of the starport.
yeah, okay. So I say, well, things have been buzzing about, and ships have been buzzing about, and most of that stuff is, over there, like, can be found in that kiosk and stuff. But I'm looking for the busy bees of, like the sword ships and the Jadani ships and the Imperium ships. Ones that might not necessarily dock here, or if they do dock, that might not necessarily announce it, or maybe ships are just paying. And then basically, spin that I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for very detailed ship travel, ship movements, and and
Okay.
I say that I have a prospective buyer.
So he says, okay. He says, so you're wanting data out of the Starport Authority's secure system. He says, money can make almost any problem go away. He says, for 10,000 credits, I can get you at least a partial listing of passing ships, and any noteworthy events that may have happened in system. He says, for 50,000 credits, he says, I can present you with much, much more valuable data, additional on top of what you would get for the 10,000 credits.
I say, what about if how much for, say, 2 hours with a direct, with an open port to the spaceport security network,
He says,
and then our guy takes a look around.
says okay. He says, so um, if you would like, essentially what you're going to need is a falsified set of credentials, which
Yeah, basically yeah. So to clarify, what I'm asking here is since Xerxes a good hacker, I think like the best bet would be is for us to have like get access to the network. He can, that leaves him clean because, like, oh no, these random travelers found a vulnerability and exploited. Oh no, I was totally not responsible. But at the same time, whatever information we can get is like that's what we can get. So I'm expecting he'll charge more than 10, but less than 50 for it.
yeah, he says for 15,000 credits, I can get you credentials that you guys can just log into the system. They will make you appear to have legitimate um, authority to be accessing that system, and you
Mhm.
can peruse it at your leisure. However, he says you probably won't want to stay in the system for too long. These forged credentials are only going to last for so long.
Right, exactly. And obviously, if our guy isn't as good as he says he is, then then I assume it's our ass. Okay, so activate the comment. Well, actually, the comms have been on this whole time, but I say, Big Z, you think you good on this?
I look at the comm saying Big Z and just shake my head. Like, who the hell's
Orion,
this guy think he is?
Orion, make a Recon plus intellect check.
Recon intellect. 1 second. Here we go.
No,
Oof.
don't notice anything.
Yeah, might be a little distracted at the moment.
Yeah. Basically, Zersey, yeah, the it's 15 grand for fake credentials that'll get you to log into get you a login to the network, and then whatever you can get away with is whatever you can get away with.
Yeah, I guess I'll walk over to Clanker and see what the hell he's talking about.
Okay.
So I'll just walk up and say, "You rang."
I say, yeah. Well, I say, yeah. Okay. Well, Mickey, this is our tech specialist. Mickey, and then I briefly explain the situation. It's like, yeah, okay. So basically, I can get you in for, like, for 15 for 10 grand, we get crappy intel. For 50 grand, we get good intel. But for 15 grand, you get access to, you get some level of security access to you get some level of access to the security network, and the level of intel is as good as you are. So, what do you think?
Instead of using some made up login, why not just allow me to borrow your login?
Well,
I say that to Mickey.
essentially, that's what he's doing. But he says it's going to give you the ability to get in. He says, but you're not going to want to linger for too long. Get what you're trying to get and get back out.
And what securities do I get that you're not just setting me up for failure?
He says, "Oh, there's there's no there's no there's no securities." He's like, I don't deal in guarantees.
Yeah, exactly. I say but also I say, Zerzy, consider that, if he starts fucking people over, people start fucking him over, and he loses a big chunk of his income. I can't imagine that the salary of a local police officer pays particularly well. And again, it's just bad for business.
Can I read his mind to see if I feel like he's trying to be deceiving to me?
Sure.
I just give him a quick little stare at it and do a little peeky. That's what telepathy.
Yes. It would be. You have your choice. You can either do a read surface thoughts, or you can um, attempt to essentially probe deeper.
Oh,
Yeah, but the probing is a lot higher
Так,
DM.
ну хорошо,
Yes.
надо
Like a 12, I believe.
поесть
I'll just,
супчика.
I'll just do surface thoughts.
Так,
Okay.
ну хорошо, надо поесть супчика. Ты не пробовал еще?
I did shit.
Yeah, I mean, you're not getting anything off of him.
Очень старый.
I look him and say, "How about I will give you 7,500 if I find nothing. If I find something really good, I'll give you 25,000. So I will pay you more than what you're wanting if I find good intel. If I find not good intel, you make less."
Well, no, because it's not. He's not going to give you the credentials and then wait to be paid. It's a take it or leave it.
All right, here's 15,000.
Okay. So he pulls out a wafer. Hold on just a second. My camera's wigging out on me. There we go. So he pulls out a wafer, and you notice that this wafer has a little indentation, and he holds his thumb down on it, and there's a little flashing red light, and then it changes to like a green light, and he hands the wafer to you. He says, "Just go ahead and slot this in to your computer, and it will do the rest. It will log you in with complete credentials and allow you access to the system." He says, "You're going to want to do this, like, you know, someplace, where you're not going to be seen."
Yeah, well, yes, obviously. I'm not going to do it here in the middle of a courtyard while my friend is drinking out of a fountain near us.
Right?
So,
Yeah.
far
Before,
original.
I forgot to do this before. I have decided you guys are going to get some more skills. And I meant to do this earlier and I forgot.
we
So
get more skills?
you are going to get more skills. So this is the these are the skill packages. Generally, the way that this works at the end of character, once everybody's created a character, we agree to pick one of these, and we go around the table, and everybody can take one of these skills. I'm going to do this one better. You can pick one of these packages, and you can take all of the skills on it. But if you already have a skill, then you can't take it.
So if you already have one of the skills in the package, you can't take the package?
No, you can take the whole. You can take the package. You just can't take that particular skill. It won't raise it at all.
Oh, okay.
So we'll go ahead and start. Orion, which of these packages would you like?
I would say probably. Let's go with I guess mercenary. Or no, I got most of that already at one. Let's go with criminal skills.
Okay, so you can go ahead and take all of those if you, unless you already have one of the skills, then obviously it won't raise it at all. But that package you can add to your sheet.
All right, thank you.
Zerzi, which one would you like? I mean, there's the diplomat skill package, but I think you.
Yeah, but I've already got admin. I've already got diplomat. I've already got electronics. I already have persuade.
Right.
So I don't be getting stealth, streetwise, and well, yeah, I don't have advocate. Oh no, I do have advocate. So I get stealth and streetwise only. I guess I'll get the criminal because broker is good for these low level deals. Because like diplomacy is more for like bigger things, whereas when I'm bartering and haggling,
if you're looking at broker, there's also the trader skill package. But you already have advocate. But
I already have advocate. I already have pilot. I already have diplomat. I already have medic. I already have electronics.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll take criminal.
Okay. Audrey, which one of these looks good to you?
I will take the traveler skill package.
Okay. The other reason for doing it this way is that this is going to some of these packages have skills that overlap. Pilot is a common one. If somebody can't make it to a session one week and they're the pilot, it has been my experience that could be a problem. Usually delegating it to, somebody's piloting the ship and it's something that's happening in the background. So this kind of alleviates that. Somebody else can pilot. Casimir, which one would you like? Okay, if you want to take Merc, go for it. And I mean, ultimately, whether I let you guys just pick a package or whether we did the round robin, the skills come out about the same. You're all going to end up with 2 or 3 skills. And of course, either way, if you already have the skill, then it doesn't change. So it still comes out to like 2 or 3 skills. So yeah, I think this will help round out our skills a little bit. I was kind of toying around with the idea. So like in the Traveler Companion book, they have an alternate method of character creation, and essentially it's a package-based system that essentially the problem with Traveler, and I don't really view it too much as a problem, but it does not allow you to say, well, I want to play this kind of character, because you don't know what's going to happen with those dice rolls. You're going to get what you're going to get. Whereas with the package system, you say, oh, I want to play a belter, and you're a belter. I want to play a merchant marine. Bam, you're a merchant marine. So I was thinking about just taking one of those packages and saying, okay, here you can do it this way. But this works. This works equally well. Okay, so yeah, he hands over this wafer. Ryan, go ahead and make another Recon plus Intellect check.
And dice.
So
That's better.
that is better. So you notice that during this entire interaction, you see a rather questionable-looking individual, kind of wearing scuffed up, like
So очень вкусный, но
it's like a scuffed up kind of cloth jacket, and clearly it's an armored jacket, but it's not, it's not overly outrageous. He's kind of leaning up against this building's wall, and it appears that he's kind of eavesdropping. At least it looks that way to you.
I'll just kind of mumble quietly to myself with the advanced comm link to pick it up. You all have an audience. One to the east. Armor under his clothing. Pretty sure he's listening.
Okay, so Zerzy, you can make a deception plus dexterity check. Nice. Well, he probably has at least 0. Yeah, you successfully hide this wafer that you were given in somewhere in Clanker.
Sounds good.
If I remember, let me double check. I think Clanker has some compartments.
Oh yeah, he's got like a chilled winery area like in his chest and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got a fire extinguisher. He's got
He has
storage
lots of stuff.
storage compartment, 2 slots, and it's refrigerated.
Yeah.
I don't know why a crew droid would need a drink dispenser, but you never know. So yeah, you stash it in his compartment, and it's got a little like magnetic strip on the back, so you just reach inside and like clink and stick it to the inside wall, and it is hidden, and this guy did not notice one way or the other. However, with a 7, he does now suddenly realize that I mean. You guys all just had to turn and look right at him, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he starts to move away, just kind of casually walking away.
Seeing him start walking away, I'm just gonna slip my my data pad back in my many pockets and just start casually following behind at a distance.
Okay.
And just call over the comm dot. I'll keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
I mean, I guess assuming if we're still on this planet at the end of the session, I will do some more shopping.
Okay.
But I'll do it at that point. For now, I don't know. I will just kind of look at Audrey and Casimir and just be like, do we want to do anything else? Like, what's our game plan here? I've been busy debating about turning a crew droid into a kill droid, which I have now done. So,
Mission accomplished.
Well, we should probably go somewhere like a motel and do our hacking there instead of out in the open?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best.
So there is an Advantage Hotel right here.
Excellent.
That I mean, it's an Advantage Hotel. So essentially, it is. Um, I mean, for the better part of lack of description, it's essentially their rooms are, cubicles.
Economy.
Yes, it's a coffin hotel.
Hey, listen, they can be downright cozy in some
In
circumstances.
some yeah, I've seen some that were pretty nice. I mean,
Well,
don't
if-
wake up too quick because you'll hit your head on the ceiling. But beyond that,
If you two want to go and help Orion, I guess I will go get a hotel room with my robot and sit
Yeah.
there for a couple hours.
don't
Hmm.
date robots.
Yeah, I want to stay in the hotel.
I mean, you can get your own room if you want.
Okay.
So yeah, Advantage Hotel. For 50 credits per night, you get a cubicle hotel room. And there's not even so the thing about this particular Advantage Hotel is that there's not even like a reception desk. It's essentially it's a vending machine. You just go up, pay your 50 credits, and or however many nights, and it dispenses you with a key card, and essentially it's another wafer, and you are registered to that room for your length of stay.
One of my favorite YouTube videos is there's a guy that reviews like Japanese capsule hotels. They're
Yeah,
really quite fascinating.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Hmm.
and there's a whole culture built around them. There are some people like living in there, like that's
Oh, you know, he did the math. Like living in a Japanese capsule hotel, assuming I kept my current salary, would actually just be cheaper than living here.
right.
Anyway, neither here nor there. Yeah, I mean, sure. I'll hustle up with Orion and say that we're both military. We should like try to like flank him, hammer anvil kind of situation.
I like your thinking. I'm a bit more specialized in distance, but I'm good enough up close.
Well, I mean, I can. Okay, so if you want me to, I'm not great up close either, but
Yeah, we'll work with what we got.
yeah.
So with your business concluded, Mickey decides that it's probably a good idea for him to vacate the park. And as you guys are kind of all heading, Zerzy and Audrey Audrey and Clanker are heading towards the Coffin Hotel. Mickey decides that he's going to vacate, and this was enough of a deal that he doesn't want to be seen in the area anymore. So he kind of leaves.
Fair.
But Casimir, you can make a recon plus intellect check.
I will do that. Why shouldn't I? As soon as my thing stops suffering, which it's still suffering. One moment. I need to refresh roll 20.
No problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was having that problem earlier today too. So I kept getting a message from Roll20. It's like, oh, your internet connection has disconnected from the servers, and I'm like, the fuck it has.
Ooh.
Okay, well,
My internet
boxcars
connection's fine.
apparently.
Nice. Okay, so
Cool.
you see that there is another one of these guys. Hold on. And he's sitting over here on this bench, and as Orion kind of moves down the street following this other guy, this guy just kind of casually comes up and starts to walk around like he's going to flank Orion.
Orion, you said you have the P-HUD, right?
Yep.
All right, I have a P-HUD too. I assume that with our comms, like yeah, network that can. Well, I mean, I guess GM, question to you: can I update his PHUD, and can he update mine based on Intel?
I do have the TL 12 com dot that lets you use sublingual chat, so not actually saying anything out loud, but the mic's still transmitting and receiving.
So let's see here. I'm looking this up. Jihad. There it is. Personal heads up. It says is +1 on all attack rolls and ranges. I would say if you guys are in, wow, that is an ugly set of sunglasses. Holy shit! So,
Yep.
so,
Yeah.
I think it's an improvement.
So which tech level do you have?
Like a jackass, I didn't write it down.
So tech level 9 gives you a +1 to all attack rolls for keyed weapons. There's at 11 it's holographic and has a holographic display.
Mine is, I do have PHUD holographic, and
okay,
yeah.
So yours is 11.
Okay.
But either way, I would say yes. If you guys are within within communications through the com dot, I would say that yes, you would be able to update each other's fretboards.
Okay, good. Then I do that. I mean, yeah, basically mark another hostile coming in from Orion's back, and shoot him an alert. Be like, hey, watch your 6 or 7 or 8 or 5, whatever
Watch
the
your
situation
9.
may be.
So
Constantly updating.
okay.
But good catch.
Okay, so yeah, your both of your PHUDs update, with the current model that is going on. Maybe.
Oh,
Oh, they're getting spicy.
all right.
Oh, glad I got that other pistol after I gave Audrey mine.
Right.
Right.
So what we will do, Clanker. I don't think Clanker needs to roll for initiative. I think he can go on Xerxes' turn. Keep this.
I mean, I don't expect me to be doing any combat, but okay.
Right, but so what we are going to do. There we go. So the way we're going to do this, so you have paid. I assume you got Audrey a cubicle as well.
Sure.
Okay. Everybody, go ahead and roll initiative. So on your on Xerxes' turn, and possibly Audrey's. I'm not sure what Audrey wants to be doing. But on Xerxes' turn, it can be assumed that you are using the capsule room to jack into the network and kind of peruse the files.
I mean, I was first going to make sure the room doesn't look like it's bugged, and then
Oh yeah, you can do that too. Yeah.
This wafer doesn't appear to have any kind of illicit software that may try to reverse hack me or anything. Then I was going to use it if it was clean.
That would be the safest bet to do, yes. All right. So, Casimir, you see this, you've noted this other guy. What is Casimir doing?
I'm being blown away by the fact that my mouse wheel, I can apparently scroll left and right, not just up and down. Holy shit. Wow, this is
Whoa,
incredible. I had no idea. No, because I was just like, like my mouse wheel was like getting a little tight. Sorry, a little loose, and I'm like, oh, let me see if I can tighten up a bit. And yeah, apparently I can just scroll left and right. This is incredible. Anyway, ooh, I'm good. Let me see. We want. We don't really have a reason for attacking these guys. Like realistically, they were just sort of just kind of watching us and then went off to report and like for out of character reasons. Like we only know that they're bad people for out of character reasons because they're labeled syndicate thugs.
Right.
Um,
I mean, they've done some things, but everybody
Yeah,
has a
but
past.
like realistically, we don't have reason to be suspicious of them. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to confoy my suspicions, excuse me, by attempting a surface thought read on the guy. So now I can finally have an excuse to be aggro to him in character.
So this guy.
Not
Okay.
not the bad guy.
Okay.
Yeah. An 8, which I believe is a success for
That-
surface level.
That is a success. That is a.
What the?
Not up again. Yes. So yeah, cost you 2 side points. And his surface thoughts. He is. So on his surface thoughts, you catch that he is keeping an eye on you guys, and he's aware because he saw you talking to Micky Zedouche, and he knows who Micky Zedouche is. Obviously, he's he and there's only 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Not just on the planet. That's 10,000 people between the downport and the high port. So he basically everybody knows everybody else, right? And he hasn't seen you guys before, so that tells him that it is obvious that you guys, right? Yes, yes. So it tells you that, or it tells him that you guys are new in port, which is high on his mind. He's wanting to follow you, and basically he's focused on finding out more about what ship you're attached to. Uh, and he basically is going to pass this information along for a chunk of change from somebody. Somebody will be willing to pay for information on what ship that you're on, because everything here, 99% of all the ships come through are merchant ships, right? So these ships are all laden down with cargo. So passing information on a specific ship onto a group of pirates can be a pretty hefty payday for somebody.
Okay, but so I guess the question is do I get like from his self-awareness, does he self-identify as a pirate? I understand that's or like pirate adjacent, I guess.
Not He's not. I mean, he has operated, or he has worked on as a pirate or a crewman before, but he doesn't really self-identify as a pirate. He basically now he's a part, very very low-ranking member of the syndicate here on Grote. They mostly, rough up dock workers, force the union to make votes that people don't necessarily want to make, that kind of thing.
God, man, technically, man, I don't feel like Casimir can rightly engage combat with this guy, but I mean, I still got an offer. I mean, I guess I'll just make him an offer.
Okay,
So
you just want to walk up to him and make it say, "Hey, have I got a deal for you?"
I mean, kind of, yeah. Like, well, not necessarily like, but if he's thinking about reporting, I'm, wondering if, he knows somebody who's an info broker that we could just source more information from. So, yeah, I mean, gosh, I mean, I guess that I'll be like, uh, yeah, I'll just call out, hey man, let's just talk, and I'll advance towards him, I guess.
Okay, so go ahead and head towards him. You can either 6 meters with a minor action, or you can do 3 minor actions to walk right up to him. So,
No, I mean that's close enough. Like I don't want to spook him. So I'll move the 6 meters and be like, hey man, yeah, let's before we do anything, let's just talk real quick.
he go ahead and make a persuade plus social.
Okay, persuade plus social.
Nice.
Man, I'm on a roll today, apparently.
So he
You're
does.
persuasive.
He kind of stops and turns and he kind of looks around, and there's really nobody else on the street except for you and Orion. And I mean, you can see clearly that his first thought was to bolt. He was going to turn and run. But you have persuaded me. He says, I didn't mean anything. I didn't mean anything. I wasn't listening into your conversation.
Okay, well that's my action. So somebody else can do stuff.
Audrey, what are you doing?
Can Audrey help Zerzy do the hacking?
Sure. I mean, so between you and Zerzy, so what's the first thing that Zerzy intends to do here?
Make sure the room isn't bugged and make sure this wafer isn't bugged.
Okay, so essentially, Audrey, if you would like, you can help. Like right now, he's kind of going over. He's wanting to go throughout the cubicle to see if he can find any bugs. If you want to help with that, it would be an investigate plus intellect check.
Okay. Investigate plus intellect. Investigate intellect.
Okay. Yeah. So
Nice.
you pretty much go over this thing with a fine tooth comb. You do not find any bugs or any listening devices. The only listening device in the cubicle is essentially the digital component, the speech recognition component for the entertainment system. Which I don't know. I mean, you know that it exists, but why? Because you're in a cubicle hotel and your entertainment system is like within reach. All you have to do is reach up and hit the button. But anyways, yes, it has basically an echo installed in there so that you could just tell it change the channel or I want to watch a movie or whatever. So you go over it, you find no bugs. So Audrey, of course, didn't find any bugs. What's the next on Zerzy? What are you doing?
Well, I don't have a. I'm trying to think. I don't know how to do it game wise, but basically, I will essentially run this unknown wafer in like its own little sandbox, just to kind of just check it with my security program to make sure it's not going to try to take over my computer or anything, because that would be very costly if it did that.
So yeah, that would suck. So, whoops. Let me get down here to computers and software. You have a security program. Yeah.
I have security 2, so it's a 12 plus to hack me.
Gotcha. Yeah, go ahead and make an electronics computers plus intellect or education, your choice.
Do I get all my modifiers usually?
Well, this would be a.
Because when I get 3 no matter what, then whatever the tech level difference is between me and the wafer, but I don't.
Yeah, the wafer is tech level 12, so I think your computer's
Okay.
at 12, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
So just
that's
a,
zero.
just a, my regular 3.
Yes.
Okay. 13.
Okay.
Ooh.
So let me. So you do find that there is a agent installed on the wafer. It would have attempted. It would not have been able to get through your security with that roll, but you find it before it's able to really do any major harm. And it, from what you're finding when you're going through this thing, the agent that's in there, it doesn't look like it was designed to like do a virus or destroy your hardware or whatever. Essentially, it was going to basically copy everything that you were doing, basically key logging. Not that you're probably using a keyboard, but it's it's basically a keylogger, and it's copying everything that you do into a buffer file that it is then going to upload later to somebody else.
Am I able to just delete the agent? If not, am I able to tell if there's actually login credentials on this, or was it just like a?
Yeah, if you,
scam?
I mean, you beat him. If you would like, you basically can use your security package to remove the threat.
Okay, yeah, then.
Okay. So the syndicate, this syndicate thug up here. He comes down here and is kind of leaning against this wall. And the other one, you know, he continues going on. He's like, "I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to cause any problem or anything. I was just, I'm just minding my own business. I saw that you were talking to Mickey. He's he's kind of a corrupt guy, man. Probably not something that you want to be seen in public doing." Oh, Casimir,
All right.
Casimir, you can make a recon plus intellect.
Yeah, okay. Let's do that. And still pretty good.
Okay. You can see that he's wearing a beat up cloth jacket. Like plus protection +4. But you can see that kind of tucked inside the of his pants. So it's not hanging on a belt loop, but it's like inside the pants, and he's kind of haphazardly got his shirt kind of partially covering it up. You can see that he is packing a blade.
Okay, I mean, fine. It's hardly a big deal. I'm packing a stunner, I'm not really in a position to cast any stones.
Blast. Orion,
Yeah.
you see this guy move, and this other guy kind of leaning up against this door. What would you like to do?
Would I be able to have overheard what the one talking to Casimir was saying?
Yeah, you can hear him. I mean,
yeah, and also I have my comms open, so
yeah. You can hear him.
Okay, beautiful. Then I'll just kind of smile and nod at the one leaning against the wall, letting him know I can see him.
Okay.
And I'll approach over here by this vehicle and just kind of lean against the hood.
Okay. So you kind of move over and are kind of leaning against the hood of this vehicle, and this guy, the stammering, trying to talk his way out of. Very obviously, he was listening in on your guys' conversation, and now he sees you come over, and he's like, "Oh shit, I'm outnumbered," and so. He is on a defensive back foot kind of attitude. Casimir, what are you doing?
Oh, I was going to say something as well when I came over.
No, go ahead.
Look, friend, we don't mean any harm to you. Clocked you over listening. Might want to practice on that a little bit more. However, you seem like someone with big eyes and ears. Probably see and hear a lot of things. Looking for some information on any sort of interesting ships that may have come through recently. I got credits if you got information.
Ooh, go ahead and make a persuasion check and you get a +3 for that. Actually, I'll do you better. Make a persuasion plus social check, and you can make that with a boon. Roll 3 and take the 2 highest rolls.
All right. Oh, wait. I think there's a thing here I can turn on for a boon, right?
I believe so, yes.
Where is it?
It's funny because
here it is.
we always forget to turn them off. And so then, like, every roll's just made with a boon, but...
Persuade with boon. Modifier was 0, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so he suddenly kind of perks up and he's like, "Oh, well, how many credits are we talking about here?"
Thankfully, I overheard the previous conversation. If the information is only interesting, I could do 5K. If the information is confirmed and interesting, let's say 10K.
He says, "Oh, you definitely have my attention." So he does tell you. He says so he just kind of spills his guts, and he says I my day job is I do work out on the downport docks. He says, so we see a lot of ships coming and going. He says, but he says, the first thing that I will tell you is that there is some pirate activity in the area, and when I say area, I will bring this up, show you. There you are. So you are presently at Grote. He tells you that there is pirate activity pretty much all the way from Caliburn to Grote and as far coreward as Olympia.
Mm.
And he says, you know, on the general, that a lot of the patrol ships, they're making strides towards kind of tamping that down, but not nearly as much as you might think. He says it doesn't. He says it doesn't seem that it has been enough of a priority for either the Imperials or the Sword Worlds to really stamp it out, and a lot of it is being broken down into bureaucratic paperwork in who basically they're deciding who is responsible for dealing with this. And so it's this back and forth between the Sword Worlds Confederation and the Third Imperium. And so because of that, there's insufficient patrol ships going through and actually dealing with the actual problem. He says every once in a while, a naval commander of one side or the other will sooner or later just decide that they've had enough of this shit and they're going to go ahead and put it down, whether they have orders from their superiors to do so or not. He says thus far that hasn't happened yet. However, he gives you details on a number of ships that have passed through the system to the tune of, we'll say, 1D's worth of intelligence, 2 points. So he gives you the names of a couple of ships. And one of them is a ship that you have heard of before. Find it. So the first ship that he tells you about is a seeker mining ship called Pox Rocks, and that it actually moved through the outer edge of the Grote system. And the other ship is a scout courier that ship designation it pings as SJ8901, and it came through the Grote system about 2 weeks ago. He said they didn't file. He says to his knowledge they didn't file any kind of flight plan or jump plan on where they were leaving.
No, I imagine they wouldn't. Sounds like Black Ops to me, maybe. Little free information for you there. As long as you promise to go ahead and not let your friends know about me and my friends here.
He says,
Sound like a fair deal?
He says, yeah. He says, so how much was this information worth to you? He says, if it was worth enough to you, I wouldn't have any reason to let anybody know.
That's fair. That is very fair. How about 10K for the information and another 5K to keep us under the radar?
He says,
We won't be here long.
He says that makes for the payday that I was expecting anyway. So yeah, I don't see any reason to talk to anybody else.
Outstanding.
All right.
And I'll just kind of tap my shades and send the credit transfer.
Okay, so he seems perfectly happy with that idea, and he says it was a pleasure doing business with you. If there's anything else that you need help with while you're at the downport, please feel free to look me up.
Certainly. That sounds like a plan. You gentlemen have a wonderful day.
So yeah, he kind of takes off, and this guy, as soon as he's obviously been listening in around the corner, he kind of takes off in another direction. Seems like everything is good on their end, and excellently played, you guys. That was potentially going to be some kind of knife fight at the very least. Audrey, what are you doing now that? How are you helping? How are you helping Zerzy with the hack?
Oh, all right. Well, can I roll? What skills do I have? Electronics to help download the data that we need now that we to put in the credentials to get into the system.
Sure, go ahead and make an electronics computers check. Electronics computers plus your choice, either intellect or education.
Okay. Roll.
Okay. So yeah, this now that now that this agent program has been removed, the basically this is just a wafer thumb drive. It's working exactly as stated. You plug in, it automatically inserts credentials and a password, and you are logged into the Starport Authority network. And Audrey's attempting to help on her end with basically a database search. Zerzy, you can go ahead and make an electronics computers plus intellect or education, and you can add your any bonuses that you get for database software.
What's the tech level of this place is 11, you said, right?
Yes, so you get a +1 on top of that.
Okay. All right. I think that's all the bonuses.
Holy
18.
shit. Wow. Wow.
You nailed it.
Yeah, so that is a critical success. Well, no. It
That's
is a
success
critical.
nonetheless.
It is a critical
Oh.
success. Yes, it is a
Nice.
+6 effect. So there's 6 pieces right off the top, and let's see here. Damn it. Plus, go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll 4D.
15.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you kind of go through this data, and you get an additional 21 pieces of information about various ships that have moved through the system. And on the wrong button. There we
Very
go.
nice.
Wow, that was pretty damn good. So yeah, you pick up some pieces of information. You don't see in any of this. You don't see that there was any Jodani ships, which honestly you wouldn't expect to see. But you did note that there were at least a couple of vessels that seemed to come into the system and hang out, like way out on the edges, out in the Oort cloud. They didn't bother to come into the port, and in both cases, I mean, there's very limited information. Like they know that they're there. They get a sensor ping, but beyond that, and of course a transponder ping, but beyond that, no visual representation. You get estimated sensor logs. These ships were ranging in the 400 to 600 ton range. It's at that kind of distance, it's really hard to really be sure. But because I mean, a densitometer is actually a fairly close range instrument, and when you're talking about anything over 50,000 clicks, you're really sketchy and eyeballing it. The reality is that these ships could have been 200 tons. They might have been 1,500 tons. It's the computer's kind of rolling the dice between 400 and 600. My estimation. Um, but you see that there were at least in the past 30 days there were at least 3 instances of ships that came into the system and hung out in the Oort cloud, and they didn't come closer to Grote to the main world. Um, so I will show you as soon as I find it. There it is. So these ships, you're seeing that they would be like somewhere out here.
Okay.
I mean,
Am I able to slightly metagame the ship that they were learning about? Is any of that information in the computers?
yes,
I would have had my comms open the whole time.
Yeah, you do see that SJ8901 was in system. It did spend some time out in the Oort cloud. It then came and did wilderness refueling at this large gas giant, and didn't bother to go to the port. It then jumped.
Okay. Now, am I able to tell that all of these ships were hanging out in the approximate same area of the Oort cloud, or just in general, just way off on the edge of the?
Pretty much close. It looks like they were in the same general vicinity. And when I say same general vicinity, you're talking about in an Oort cloud. You're talking about they were all within 100,000 kilometers of one another.
Is there anything else I would have seen that would have been spicy in the data of the station?
One of these ships that was here, and let me double check something. One of the ships that was hanging out in the Oort cloud did send a packet communication to Grote, and it was a ship registered as the Yasmin, and it was registered as a subsidized merchant, and it did log a jump plan that it was subsidized merchants only a J1, and its next location to jump to from here is that it was jumping to Talchek, so just 1 parsec rimward and spinward, and that ultimately its ultimate destination was Mithril. So I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So probably, if it's operates like a standard subsidized merchant, it's probably going to spend about a week in port at each one of those stops. So it's probably on a 12-week cruise to head into the Sword Worlds, and it was headed for Mithril. Now this is a very strange thing, because why would anybody go to Mithril? Mithril officially has a listing of 0 population.
Oh, wow.
Now, you guys would know, being aboard a Sword Worlds merchant cruiser, you know that there is a small base that is kept on Mithril, manned like literally, like if there's more than 6 people there, it's shocking. And mostly they have the base there just to maintain the fact that they own it, kind of thing. And it's not an abandoned world. There is some scientific research that goes on from this base on Mithril that basically is there to, in the future, if there is a colonization effort, that this data can be put towards that. But beyond that, I mean, there are some ships that make a stop at Mithril. There's very little trade to be done with the downport that's there, or what passes as a downport. The 5 or 6 people that stay there sometimes buy luxury goods from traders that pass through, but for the most part, nobody really has much of a reason to go to Mithril. It's usually a stop to refuel and then move on, because, like I said, the planet has an official listing of 0 population.
Okay. Would it be safe to say I have like access to most, if not anything, on this space station?
Right. I mean, not anything. You are in the Starport Authority's system. I mean, you can look up, ships that have docked, ships that have run through the system. You can look up, any fines that were levied, reports from customs. You can look up what the current janitorial supply budget is for this coming year. I mean there's
Yeah, you'd laugh, but that information could be valuable to somebody. I mean, if
that's true.
no, legit, yeah, like
One of the
steal whatever
megacorps.
you can. Yeah, steal whatever you can. I mean, acquire.
Yeah,
Can
borrow.
I look up personnel files?
Yes.
Okay, I would definitely want to download all personnel files that I have access to, including the informant who tried to fuck me over.
Yes, get them.
I will.
Oh
do
yeah,
something
get
with
the
that.
files on Mickey.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you download the personnel files, including one Micky Zedouche, and that is getting copied over to your computer. I think this is probably a good place to break. We can pick this up next week, probably with you guys getting back aboard Scander and informing or passing information back to Magnus about the intelligence that you gathered here, which was considerable, and we'll pick up from there.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well, I hope you guys have a good night, and I will catch you next week.
Thank you.
Next
I'll go on.
week.
Beautiful. Thanks for the game.
No problem.
Thank
Have a
you
good
for
night,
running.
guys.
Good night, everybody.